Hello, ladies and gentlemen. RC Bash Boy here. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Saturday Night RC Live. So, first and foremost, my apologies. Actually, I'm an hour, 32 minutes late. My sincere apologies. What happened was I actually got caught up on work. And yeah, I just unfortunately just couldn't get you know, to a mobile device or anything, to actually update you guys. That I was running in late. But anyway, so I'm here. Once again, my sincere apologies. And yeah, so other than that, we'll get this show started. And well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Actually, I didn't really prepare any shoutouts of for tonight, for today's show. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, as people come in, I guess I'll just give them a brief shout out if I know the person, and yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, like I said, I didn't really prepare for tonight. I just been super busy. So yeah, so hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday night, and yeah, so we'll get this show started. So the vehicle that you see in front of you, this is the all new low-C Lazernut U4. So yeah, practically this vehicle came out, a few months ago, and I gotta say, man, this thing is amazing. I only ran this thing, I would say maybe about 3 times. The second time was the one that I just made the video. There at the RC Bash Boy Arena, and yeah, man, this thing does amazing right out of the box. Okay, this thing is 4S capable right out of the box, and for me, to me, 4S is actually, a lot of power, but it is capable. But for me, I actually ran this, on the 3S, wide, so I can just familiarize with the vehicle. And yeah, man, this thing does amazing, even on 3S. So actually, there was a few people that they wanted to point out that when you run a 3S, you're supposed to gear this thing up to, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 14.2. And according to the manual, you're supposed to change out, the pinion if you're running a 2S or a 3S LiPo battery. Now, once you run 4S, you're supposed to run, the stock gearing, that comes, with the vehicle ready to run. So personally, since like I said, I did not run this vehicle on a 4S. I did run this on a 3S, and even with the stock gear, man, I still believe that it's plenty of speed, even on 3S. On 4S, like I said, this thing right out of the box, actually, it is 4S capable, and it's 4S ready to run. And yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is just slap in your 4S LiPo battery, and you're good to go. If you're just gonna run a 3S, all you gotta do is just gear up your low-C Lazernut, and they do provide, that pinion that they do offer, and they do suggest you, to use when you run a 3S LiPo battery on this vehicle. So the more you know. AC Froggies RC and more. Hey man, good evening. Welcome, welcome. I was pretty much saying, sorry that I'm late. Actually, I'm an hour and 30 some minutes late. My apologies, man. I got caught up on work. But hey, I mean, it is late, but it's actually worse if I don't even show up, right? So yeah, so good evening. Hopefully you guys are having a great Saturday night. And yeah, today's topic of tonight is pretty much, talk about a little bit about the low-C Lazernut. Um, and yeah, so, and also I did want to talk about, the differences between the low-C Lazernut and the low-C Tenacity DB Pro. Okay, even though they do look similar on paper, side by side, pictures. Believe it or not, there are differences, from the low-C Tenacity DB Pro and the low-C Lazernut U4. Okay, so right off the bat, the low-C Lazernut, it is the chassis. It is longer than the low-C Tenacity DB Pro, and also the Lazernut has 2.2 inch tires. Whether the low-C Tenacity DB Pro has standard 1.9 inch tires. So that is one of the things that are different. And then also the low-C Lazernut is a 4S capable truck right out of the box. The low-C Tenacity DB Pro is a 3S compatible vehicle. So those are the differences. Also, the low-C Lazernut is considered a rock racer. Now, the low-C Tenacity DB Pro is just a regular buggy. So, I mean, I did get a question the other day, can you make the low-C Tenacity DB Pro into a rock racer? And that's actually a good question. If you analyze it, technically you can. Basically you can't fit 2.2 inch tires on a low-C Tenacity DB Pro. But the low-C Lazernut, man, they really, really did a good job, of converting the platform, the 10, Tenacity 10, uh, the racing platform into a basher, which is a rock racer. So that is actually pretty cool. Personally, since I do own the low-C 10 SCBE, the low-C Tenacity DB Pro, and the low-C Lazernut. Now, before I purchased this, uh, I did ask myself, like, is it okay for me, to purchase the low-C Lazernut? And at first, I even said to myself, well, I mean, I guess I should just pass on it. Why? Because, well, I mean, I already have, those two platforms, which is the 10 and the Tenacity. I should just, sleep on it and, just not get the Lazernut. Oh boy, I gotta say, man, I'm very glad that I bought it, because there are differences between from all of those platforms that I mentioned, the 10, the Tenacity, and this. Okay, there are, you know, several differences that they do come apart, from each other. One of them is the 2.2 tires. You can run a 4S on this thing, and the chassis, it is a lot longer. Well, not a lot longer, but it is longer. Not significantly, but you know, uh, but yes. One of the advantages of being a longer chassis is that you can conquer a lot more terrain, and actually, this vehicle on the air is a lot more stable. Uh, that is something that I did uh, feel, when this thing catches air and big time air. It is more manageable on the air than the low-C Tenacity DB Pro. This thing is just pretty much it's floating on the air, and you can actually control it really, really well, and a lot better, than the DB Pro. So performance wise, this vehicle, I mean, I did have high expectancies on this vehicle, and they did meet you know those high expectancies. One, because, well, it's a low C. And two, I said, you know what? If I buy this, this thing better be good. And hell, it was. This thing is amazing. It is a game changer. And I gotta say, this thing is a lot more capable when it comes to, conquering terrain more than anything. Lossy Tenacity DB Pro also, does, really, really good. But this thing is just taking it to that extra level. So, that's just, my take on the Lossy Lazernut. If you're on the market, for a buggy, and if you're in between the Lossy Tenacity DB Pro and the Lossy Lazernut U4, and you can decide from each other, if you can decide, well, should I get the Lazernut or the DB Pro? I can pretty much tell you, which one offers what, and in general, the differences. Okay. If you're looking for a true basher, and actually this is 4S capable, so meaning that it's 4S capable does not mean that it's going to run a lot faster. It just means that, you'll have plenty of torque, especially when you're off the line. Um, that's what the 4S is all about. It's not technically, you're actually going a lot faster. No, it's just you're more efficient on a low end startup. Uh, but yeah, so this thing is 4S capable, rather than the DB Pro. The DB Pro is just a 3S capable. And it would be really interesting to see, if you run the Lossy Tenacity DB Pro on a 3S and this vehicle on a 4S, and I'm pretty sure you can actually get maybe the same speed, because the Lossy Tenacity DB Pro, if I'm not mistaken, that's like a 3200 kV motor, if I'm not mistaken. Sure, maybe wrong, but this thing is a 1900 kV motor. So that's why you can actually run a 3S, because this thing is pretty torquey. Okay, but since it's geared right, the speed is there. But if you run the Lossy Tenacity DB Pro on 3S and this on a 4S, I'm pretty sure you can also, you can get the same speed. I'm not gonna say it's a significant uh, difference in speed, but the power should be the same. In terms of why did they choose to go a 4S? Well, I'll tell you this, man. Actually, this thing runs a lot cooler because it's a lower kV. And this thing is actually meant to, bash, to actually go through rocks, to freaking go through terrain that it's, pretty much a full bash mode. And they said, you know what, we just need to watch the temps, and that's, I think, my opinion, that's the reason why they went on 4S, because I guess people don't really like to overheat their electronics, and pretty much all the issues. If that happens, well, you go into thermal mode, vehicle doesn't move, customers are unhappy, so on and so forth. So that's my take on why they went with the 4S system. you know. But so yeah, if you're in the market for a low C Tenacity DB Pro in this, bottom line, this is technically a true basher. The low C Tenacity DB Pro, it's more of a, I guess, of a racer slash basher kind of deal. But yeah, this leans more into the basher scene. Why? Because of the big tires. Why? Because of the longer chassis. And if I would have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, if you ask me, which one bashes better, which one conquers more terrain, well, this thing all day long. So yeah, hopefully that if you guys are curious, differences between both. Right now, unfortunately, I don't have the low C Tenacity DB Pro here handy. But of course, if you guys want to see those vehicles side by side, upon request, if you guys want me to showcase them here tonight, please let me know in the comment section. And yeah, you know, so, and oh boy, actually, I just got carried away on the conversation, and there's a lot of people here already on chat. And we have John Martin, James RC. Hey man, welcome. Good evening. We have Brendan Tiblin in the house. Says, hey fellas, peace and love. Hey man, welcome. Good evening. Sticky's RC in the house. Hey man, how's it going? Good evening. And then we have 11 Charlie. He says, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you, Javier. Good evening. So, since you guys are here, I just want to apologize that actually I started my live stream pretty late. I got caught up on work and I just couldn't let you guys know. I mean, I was actually super busy, to let you guys know that I was gonna come in late. But hey, rather be late than not show up at all, right? So yeah, and again, hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday evening here, with your host RC Bash Boy. And yeah, so yeah, gentlemen, what are you guys are up to? Are you guys gonna do any RCing tomorrow? Any plans, for tomorrow? Are you guys gonna crawl, race? I don't know, anything RC related? Let me know in the comment section. Brandon Timlin says, yeah, it's almost midnight here. Yeah, man, my apologies. Right now it is 9:49 p.m. my time, and I'm sure uh, it's much later, in some parts of the country. But yeah, man, I tried my best, to come in at 8, and I just couldn't. But yeah, but I'm here, right? So yeah, and also I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. If anybody here wants to join in, have a conversation here with me live, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the link so anybody can come in, join, and yeah, we'll shoot the breeze here for a little bit. But yeah, let's see. There it is. So if you guys want to join, just go ahead and click the link, and it will bring you here. So we can talk about whatever, just RC stuff. So yeah. And also, so the Losi, what is it? The Losi Super Bahare 2.0 came out, I think, a couple days ago. I know Tony from CCXRC also, he did mention it in his RC Conspiracies. And I gotta say, man, that truck really had an awesome facelift. I gotta say, that truck, the looks are just, oh, they're awesome. I don't know if you guys can agree with me, but personally, I love the looks of that truck. And when it came out, I even asked myself, will I be able to own one? I didn't say no, but see, the thing is, one thing that I do lack is lack of space. And right now, yeah, I'm actually getting overwhelmed, with space here. I actually am losing space. But that truck is amazing, man. I gotta say. Comparing it to the first gen, excuse me, for the first gen, oh man, the second gen just looks killer. So, Sean Garcia Adventures also says, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Sean, good evening. Welcome. And we have a Bulgir RC video says, "What up, guys? Hey, Uncle Lee." Also, I'll start with this shout out. So, if you guys are into the crawling scene, if you guys have any, maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Jesus, man, I'm tired. If you guys are curious of 124 scale crawlers, Bulgir RC videos, actually I highlighted his comments. You guys want to check out some amazing crawlers. You guys want to just, if you guys are curious about any upgrades on the 124 scale crawlers, Bulgir RC videos is the channel to go to. And also, I know he also did a facelift to Hannibal, which is his beloved TRX4 Sports. He actually just added the newest generation Bronco onto that chassis. So yeah, Bulgir RC videos, Uncle Lee, go ahead and check him out. That will be one of my shout outs of tonight. So Uncle Lee, hey man, hopefully you're enjoying your Saturday night, here with me. So yeah. And also, if you guys joining, I did post the link on top. If you guys want to join in for just a bit. So yeah. So back to the conversation of the Losi Super Baja Ray 2.0. Gotta say, man, that thing does look amazing. Bulgarisi video says, "Thanks for the shout out. Hey, man, the least I can do." And yeah, and the reason is I came in super late. I wasn't even able to, to actually jot down, who was gonna do a shout out tonight. So you came in, and hopefully, shout out to you, my friend. So well deserved. And so yeah, and also as I was mentioning, Bulgarisi videos is Bronco. Levin Charlie says the Bronco looks awesome, and I agree. Most of the other channels that you see out there, they just pretty much kept the color, which was a yellow color. But no, Bulgar RC videos actually painted another color. What color, you ask? Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and check him out. I just highlighted his comments. He's right there on your screen. So yeah, check him out, and you will see the awesome color that he painted. If I can give a hint of what kind of color it is, actually that's a pretty cool way to put it. Actually, I wouldn't even know how to put it in words. I guess for a lack of a better word, it's a color of a Twistler, but not the actual color of a Twistler, right? But yeah, actually, Twistler sounds pretty good right now. Who's with me? But yeah, so yeah, go ahead and check them out. And so yeah, so Losi Super Bahare 2.0. I think the price is at $8.99, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, the price is up there. I really wish Losi can actually make a much more affordable. Is it a 1/7 scale? 1/6 scale? No, it is a 1/7 scale vehicle. But oh man, that thing does look super, super awesome. And if you guys haven't seen, their official video of the vehicle, so on the video, they did have the 1-to-1 version of the vehicle, and before the video ended, for some reason, the 1/7 scale size of the vehicle got wind up, or actually got cut up underneath the truck, and the 1-in-1 scale hit the 1/7 go, with the rear tire. It was actually one of the right tires, and that thing just boom went flying. And oh man, I'm sure that vehicle is still in one piece. But yeah, man, even the durability, I don't even have to think about it twice, when it comes to durability. But yeah, man, that thing is one hell of a rig, you know. So fortunately, I wish I would own one. Wish you would, but oh man, the thing is, I don't even know where to put it, you know. And see, I do own the Traxxas UDR and the Arma Mojave, and actually they do sit side by side. And the thing is, I really had to make space, just to have them sit side by side. And if I would get that, I wouldn't even know where to put it, honestly. But of course, I live in a world where I even say to myself, there's no impossibles. But that technically, that's actually asking for the impossible. I have no idea, where I can put such vehicle. So, Bulgar's video says I'm not supposed to eat Twizzlers. Well, I can eat Twizzlers, but they do say that those are best for your teeth. But I mean, who doesn't love Twizzlers? I personally, I love Twizzlers. I mean, I don't know if other people here can actually say the same thing, but oh yeah, Twizzlers is a really, really good sweet tooth. You guys are craving something sweet? Oh yeah, man, the Twizzlers, they're awesome. So, so yeah. So we are 27 minutes, 12 seconds in. We have 7 people watching. And again, I highly do appreciate the support. Um, hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday night. And again, those of you guys that are coming in late, once again, I do apologize that I started my live stream pretty late. Reason is because I just got caught up on work and I just you know, couldn't find the time to even tell you guys that I was running late. Um, but yeah, but I'm here. It's better for me to show up late than not showing up at all, right? So yeah, so once again, my sincere apologies. And so yeah, Kevin Gabe says, "Good evening, Gabe." Hey man, good evening. Welcome, welcome. And so yeah, we were talking about there you go. We were talking about Twizzlers. Brendan Timlin says only the red ones, not black. Actually, I gotta say, man, I do like the blue Twizzlers as well. Those are pretty good, you know. But of course, their original flavor is, the red strawberry. And oh man, those are really, really good. Yeah, tell that to your dentist, right? Lemon Charlie RC says, "What is the price on that Lazernut?" If I'm not mistaken, this is around the $500 mark, like 499, something like that. And the thing is, the Low C Tenacity DB Pro, I think it's probably maybe about $50 less. I may be wrong. Okay, I'm just pretty much talking, uh, as I'm going. Don't quote me on that. Maybe the same price. It may be cheaper. But yeah, to my knowledge, the Low C Lazernut U4, this is at $499, and the Low C Tenacity DB Pro, that was maybe like at three. No, actually incorrect. Maybe like 400, 420, 429, something like that. Maybe wrong, but yeah, that's pretty much the price range, between the Lazernut and the Low C Tenacity DB Pro. You're probably asking, why am I bringing up the Low C Tenacity DB Pro in this? Well, technically they are the same thing, but they are differences. Okay, so So yeah, let's see here. Good question. Says Kevin Gibbs says, so what improvements do you think it needs? Uh improvements. Actually, this thing is sweet, man, right out of the box. Okay, if you want it to run a little bit more efficient, the only improvement I would actually suggest, of course, and everybody will agree, is the servo. Okay, the servo is somewhat weak for this, especially on those 2.2 tires. But if you don't mind, the way the stock servo performs, it should be okay. Personally, I still have the stock servo on this, and I will keep it that way. But if you want, more torque, more speed on your steering, then of course, it's not a bad thing if you want to switch off, your servo. Um, One of the few, I guess, from people in YouTube, okay, one of the few things that I did hear that are bad with this vehicle is the wheel nuts. Okay, personally, I haven't had any issues. I did go through, and I'm sure I'm gonna go through this. That's what she said moment. Get ready for it. Here it goes. So I did go through every single nut, per wheel on this thing. Um, and yeah, I mean they were fully tightened. I did hear a couple of people from YouTube um, that those nuts will loosen up, and it got to the point that you would actually strip your wheel from the inside. Actually, the hex will just destroy the wheel on this vehicle. Personally, I mean, I did run this 3 times. One of them just to check the endpoints, and since I did bind this to my DXXR, I just checked the endpoints, steering, throttle, all that, and I did run it in the parking lot really quick. And from there, the second time I actually ran this at the RC Basketball Arena, and that's when I just went full send on this thing, and it did amazing. I didn't break a thing. And the third time, just pretty much it was just off camera. I just wanted to check everything again, and so far, man, I didn't break nothing has broken so far. So yeah. So once again, the things that I hear about this vehicle is those pretty much the hex stripping the freaking back wheel. And personally, it hasn't happened to me. And I guess before I ran it, I did check this vehicle from head to toe, and yeah, should be okay. Another thing that there's a highly opinionated uh, way to look at this vehicle. Some people don't like the rear wheel. Actually, let me grab the vehicle so you know as I'm speaking, so I can actually point this out. Uh, One of the things that this vehicle uh, that has people just highly opinionated is the rear wheel. Okay, some people like it, some people hate it, some people say that it's too far out. Some people say that it looks goofy. They should have just put a wing instead of a tire. Um, personally, I do like it. Okay. At first, I didn't like it because I will agree that it's actually too far out. Pretty much this thing is just out there. You know. But eventually, just looking at it, it just grew on. Okay. It's one of those things, man, that the more you look at it, I mean, I guess the more you actually start to, I guess, accept the more you look at it. But as far as performance goes, man, to me that's just a personal look. Okay, and obviously, if you do see this vehicle on a 1-in-1 scale, they do have wheels back there as well. So those did go of a more scale look uh, on this vehicle, and personally, I think they really did a good job, with it. And again, that back wheel at first I hated it, but it grew on me. So I really don't mind it. And the more you look at it, yeah, the more you accept it. So Dirty Daddy RC says, "Hey y'all, hey man, good evening. How's it going?" And then also, oh boy, I'm actually getting backed up here on chat again. Bulgarian video says, "Well, I gotta get out of here. I'm at home this weekend." Hey man, enjoy your weekend there at home. I know my friend Bulgarian videos, he does travel a lot for a living. So yeah, he's home this weekend. So yeah, man, enjoy your weekend and appreciate the support and thanks for stopping by. So let's see. Brandon Timlin says the back tire removed. Yeah, and yes, I was mentioning. Some people hate it, some people love it, man. And personally, the more I see it, the more I can accept it. So then Brandon Timlin also said, "I always hit my wheel nuts with a little blue Loctite." If I'm not mistaken, these are the nylon uh, nuts. And personally, even when you have those nylon nuts, it's not really that necessary, to put Loctite. But when those nylon nuts, they do wear out. So I guess that's when the Loctite comes into play. But yeah. Kevin Gabe says asking, would you consider it a desert truck, kind of like Mojave? Yes. The reason being because this is technically a rock racer. Okay, the rock racer is also considered as a desert truck. Now, the terminology of a desert truck, you're actually specifying it as a trophy truck. Okay, just like for example the Baja 1000, that is highly popular over there in Baja California. Okay, um, pretty much it's 1,000 kilometers. Full throttle. Different sectors. So technically, the word desert truck, to me, in my opinion, that's when you talk about, when it comes to a desert truck. Now it is technically, of course, King of Hammers, rock racer. Um, they still do race. The only difference between both is that this thing goes through rocks. This thing goes through obstacles. Now, the Baja trucks, of course, they're just racing in the desert. There are obstacles, but it's all sand related. Well, I mean, not all sand. Hey, let me rephrase that. It is a sand based race, but of course, they do run on water, they do run on rocks, hills, jumps, bumps, etc. Just like this thing, but the difference when it comes to obstacles is that this thing goes to rocks. Hence the name Rock Racer, right? So that hopefully that answers your question. Uh, Dirty Daddy RC says, "Is the light bar any good on the Lazernut?" This light bar actually it does turn on, and I don't know if you also did see. So this thing comes with a light bar, right? Hopefully my camera's catching that. So this thing does have a light bar, and then also has these light buckets. So the light bar is white, and then the light buckets, they're actually yellow. If you look at the 1-in-1 scale, I mean that's the way they have them set up. Of course, on this, now I'm gonna bring up my Losi Tenacity DB Pro. My Losi Tenacity DB Pro, when I got that, when I actually unboxed it, I did notice that the light bar on my Losi Tenacity DB Pro, the light bar wasn't working. Okay. So I did contact Horizon Hobby, and Horizon Hobby did take care of me, and they did send me a replacement. Um, as far as them being good, well, this one works. Actually, this thing has been, flipped over so many times, and I'm very surprised that, they still held up. They're still working. So if they're durable, yes, they are. Okay, but they, I'm not gonna say that they're freaking immortal. Because I did have, on the Losi Tenacity DB Pro, right out of the box, they weren't working. So, but then again, Losi did take care of me. They did send me a replacement, and yeah, so. But yeah, I mean, you can bash this thing left and right, and I mean, as long as you don't, well, they do work, but then again, nothing lasts forever, I guess, if I should say. So let's see here. Brendan Timlin says, I think it would look better in front of the rear shock tower. You're talking about the wheel? Yeah, I mean, and let me actually put it like this. Let me see. Let's see if I can get at an angle, so you can actually see. Actually, that's a perfect view right there. I mean, look at how far off, this thing is. Okay. If you look at it at that angle, especially right here, it's like not even on the car, man. You know. But if you look at it from the top, actually, it doesn't look as bad. Okay. And of course, if you want me to show you, like from this angle, it's fine, you know. But once you come down here, and if you look at it, that's when you actually ask yourself, is it too far off? What was Losi thinking? But yeah, you gotta understand, man. When you run your vehicle, actually, it's on the floor. So that view, the one I showed you, up here, that's technically what you see, you know. But right now, says I'm actually looking at this thing face to face. Yeah, actually, as I'm staring at more, I'm still saying, yeah, this thing is too far out. So I guess I shouldn't be looking at it this way, because maybe I'll start hating it or something. Sean Garcia Adventure says it looks like a platypus. Well, yes, no, maybe. Kevin Gibbs says, how many platypuses have you actually seen, Sean? Yeah, that's a good question. I want to know. Dirty Daddy RC says it looks more like an Ultra 4 buggy. And look, and I'll tell you this, man. So when Losi released this, okay, I did see their actual video, and the first time I saw that video, I was actually having a hard time pinpointing which one was the 1-in-1 scale and which one was their version of the Losi Lazernut, because they did run. If I recall the because there's two colors available for this platform, which is the blue one, the one you see on your screen, and then there's the black and red. To my knowledge, the black and red, actually they did run that on a uh, 2017 race, and then the Lazernut, that was pretty much like their latest paint scheme, you know, and that's pretty much based on my research. I may be wrong, don't quote me on that. But that's what I did see when I researched their color schemes. Um, and I gotta say, man, Losi really did a good job. Even the interior, the drivers that are on there. Uh, and also a cool thing that I did like about this vehicle is that also the DB Pro also comes with the aluminum shocks, but even this thing comes, with aluminum shocks, which is also, great. And yeah, man, this thing, it does look just like the 1-in-1 scale. And that's another reason why I decided to purchase it because, yeah, man, Losi really did a good job, with this vehicle. And I'm a happy owner. I do love this thing. I love the looks. I love the performance. Everything about it, man. It's just amazing. Kevin Gibbs says, Rock Racer? Yes, it is a Rock Racer. Brendan Timlin says, it's like a wheelie bar. Actually, it's more like a stopper, man. This thing, I had a few um, times that actually, the vehicle went like this. And yeah, and actually, it's kind of like a bumper, kind of deal. And yeah, man, this thing is amazing. And then also, they added the sway bars here, for better traction and whatnot. And also, if you guys haven't seen my video on the Losi Lazernut, I did showcase a few rock racers that were available, back in the day. The two vehicles that I decided to showcase, and I could have showcased more, because I also have, the Axial Yeti XL, which is also that's considered, a rock racer. Um, but something that was into the same scale, I guess, it was the Losi Rock Ray and the Vatera Twin Hammers. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of the Losi Rock Ray. Okay, so that vehicle came out in 2016. Okay, and what sold me, with that vehicle was how Horizon Hobby, made their video. Okay, so practically the video of the Losi Rock Ray, and still, it's still up in their YouTube channel. You can still check it out. You know, search the Losi Rock Ray. The ready to run versions, they come in red and black. I'm sorry, yellow and black, and blue and black. Okay. Um, I chose, the yellow and black. And Losi, what they did actually, they put them on several terrains. Okay, they actually ran them, with a couple of rocks. They were just going up on rocks and whatnot. They actually also did run them on sand for a little bit. They were going to water. They put so many obstacles in front of that thing, and that thing was just soaking up, everything they would just put on its way. Okay, for me personally, at that time, it just sold me. It was like, oh man, this thing is a beast, you know. So, I did place my order in my local hobby shop, and when it came out, okay, when that thing came out, and actually I got my hands on that vehicle, first thing I did, I slapped on a battery, and I decided to run it on asphalt, okay, on pavement, and I was very disappointed because that vehicle, what happened was the more speed it would get, those freaking tires would balloon. It would balloon to a point that they would just become pizza cutters, man. So technically, as you expect, based on that comment that I mentioned, that the tires would become pizza cutters. Yeah, man, the handling is horrible. Okay, and of course, I barely bought it It was brand new, and I was just flipping it, man, left and right. And I couldn't even believe it. It's like, oh wow, really, Losi? Come on, man. And but I accepted it. I actually said, okay, so technically this thing is not meant to run on cement or on asphalt, because truly it is a rock racer. Truly it's a vehicle that you're supposed to use it on dirt. You're supposed to use it in several terrains that you will definitely rock racer. And so yeah, I mean, I did accept, saying, you know what, well, this thing is not an asphalt or a hard surface vehicle. This thing is just meant to rock race, you know. So I gotta say, I was a bit disappointed at that time, when I bought it. And to top it off, okay, I did decide to run it on dirt, that same day. And actually, it was still that same fresh pack. It was like I was running on a 3S. It was a fresh pack. Um, I would say maybe 20 minutes in, the servo gives out. And the thing is, the servo horn, it is so close. See, I'll put you an example. Let's say my bed sheet is pretty much, the base of the chassis. The servo horn is this close, and pretty much, the servo sits here. The servo horn is this close, to the chassis. Okay. So as debris will go in there, the servo is actually, doing this. So what happened was rocks were getting in the servo horn, and well, guess what happened? Servo horn got stuck like this, and boom, I burned the servo right there and then. As soon as I ran it on dirt, the servo just burned up, toasted, and I had to replace it right there and then. So those two things that day that I ran that thing was, one, you know, the tires would just balloon and it was a horrible truck, and then two, right there and then I burned the servo. Okay. From there, that day, actually, I said, you know what? They really, really need to, go back into the drawing board and, work on rock racers more, And we have this, okay, coming. So that was 2016. Now coming back. Yeah, 2020, present day. Okay, Losi addressed that. These wheels, they don't balloon as much. They do balloon, of course, due to speed, but there's a lot more control on these wheels now. I don't know if they're belted. I mean, I really don't know much about these tires, but there is way better control now on this rock racer. The rock ray, and look, right now, like I said, it's still a stock platform. The only thing that I did change out was the servo. And yeah, man, till this day, I still say that those wheels are horrible. The wheels and tires, yeah, man. Of course, anything can be perfected. Anything can be modified. But I at that time, in 2016, I wasn't expecting that from Lawson, you know. And now, actually, I can say otherwise, man. And trust me, I really, really did bash this thing like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, man, if you ask me, is this RC Basher Boy approved? It is 100%. There is nothing wrong, with this vehicle right out of the box. And what I mean about wrong is there something that Losi did wrong with this vehicle? My answer is no. This thing right out of the box will not disappoint. Okay. If you want an improvement, like how Kevin Gibbs was asking earlier, if there's any improvements that we can do on this platform, yeah, of course, but what other platform out there doesn't need a servo, right out of the box. What other platform? And actually, uh, the cool thing about this is that it is a Spectrum compatible rig. And what I mean by that, since I do own a high-end Spectrum remote, this thing does bind, to my DXXR. So even at that, man, they did Losi did simplify, that really well. So yeah, man, if I have to score this vehicle right now, from a scale of 1 to 10, of course, there's no such thing as a perfect score. And actually, I'm truly honest about that. I'm not gonna give this a 10, but this is as close as it gets, man. I can give this like a 9.5, from a scale of 1 to 10. Um, One, because like I said, I went full blast on this thing, and till this day, uh, this thing is in one piece. So yeah. So the more you know. Let's see here. Catching up on chat again. I did see Beanfield Ellis Turtle. Hey man, good evening. He says, yeah, I had to buy a new motor for my Traxxas Stampede. I'm going to make a screen for it with a zipper on it and everything. No more rocks on that thing. If I'm not mistaken, he's running brushed. Excuse me. Beanfield Alice Turtle also did mention that he was gonna contact Traxxas support. I think weren't you gonna warranty that brushed mortar? If you did, comment down below, man. Let us know how that went. And then Dirty Daddy RC says, I haven't been doing the RC thing for a little because of hunting season. Hey, sweet, man. That's pretty cool. And he's also asking, do y'all think Fish and Game would let me mount a bow or rifle to an RC? Hey, man, there's no impossibles, I gotta say. So let's see here. So now, rock racers, right? I guess this is the topic of tonight. So we talked about the year 2016, and if you were in the market for a rock racer, Losi did come out with, the Losi Rock Ray. In the year, I would say maybe 20, and I may be wrong. Okay, 2013. That's when the Axial Yeti XL came out. Okay, why am I bringing that vehicle up? Well, I gotta say, that vehicle has a love and hate relationship with RCers. Okay, there's a lot of people that I've heard that they love it, and I've also heard a lot of people say that they hate it. Okay, and I'm very surprised, with this comment because I own one myself. Okay, and I did buy it. I did purchase it brand new, and when it first came out, okay, I had the opportunity to own that thing when it came out. Okay, immediately, the comments were, this thing is, trash. This thing does not hold up its value. And at the time, that thing was like a $500 rig. Okay, it was pricey, man. It was up there. Okay, and I did learn that, I think a few years ago, recently, Axial Racing actually put them on special. I think on their Black Friday specials, and it did hurt, man. It was actually pretty brutal to see how much Axial Racing was selling those things for. And I think you were able to get those Yeti XLs for like about 250. And oh boy, looking at that price, man, I paid full price for that damn thing, you know. But I mean, again, so I'm kind of going off track here, but so yeah, the Yeti XL, a lot of people hated it, a lot of people loved it. Okay, and you're probably asking, so where, what side are you taking? I actually love that thing. Okay, and I'll tell you why. One of the most realistic things that the Yeti XL offers is the torque twist. Okay, so the vehicle right out of the box, that vehicle was a 6S compatible vehicle. Okay, I mean, yeah, you can also run it on a 4S, but if you wanted a bit more power, if you would put a 6S on that thing, oh man, that thing roars. Okay, and then another thing, the electronics, I mean, they are branded Axial, but the way the ESC and everything is all set up, you can actually tell that that is a Castle system, just even based on the beeps. Okay, so you're running a Castle system on the Yeti XL, right out of the box. And again, I'm talking about the year 2013, 2014, around there. That's when I'm assuming that the Yeti XL came out. But again, I may be wrong. Um, so yeah, one of the things that that vehicle does is the torque twist. Okay, when I saw that, okay, I was actually amazed because if you guys know, I do live in a desert. Okay, I do experience, you know, buggies here in West Texas. I do see them live. You know, I haven't ridden, I would say like a sandrail type of deal. Um, but yeah, man, those things do torque twist. Those things do come off and they do wheelie on two wheels. Okay. I've seen it. I've experienced it. Okay. And one thing that really surprised me was when they let the actual Yeti XL, when it torque twist, there were people that actually dislike it. And yeah, I mean, one of the cons of having that vehicle on three wheels is you have less control on the vehicle. And you got to understand, man, this thing is huge. The actual Yeti XL, it is a big vehicle. Okay. And coming off, on three wheels, torque twist, sending it full blast. Yeah, of course, the control is a lot more limited. And of course, on a 6S power, the wheels would just balloon, to the point that they also would become pizza cutters. Okay. So that's one of the things that I know there's a lot of people that are highly opinionated, based on that feature. Personally, me, the reason why I own it is because of that main reason. Okay. I love the torque twist. There's a lot of people that say, you know what, that thing needs a suede bar, that thing needs, stiffer shocks, that thing needs to get a freaking suspension upgrade. Personally, again, I love it. That vehicle does not need anything done to the suspension whatsoever. And I'll ask you this, ladies and gentlemen. So the actual Yeti XL has massive torque twist. Amazing. And I'm gonna say yes. To me, my opinion, it has amazing torque twist. Uh, I have never seen another RC torque twist the way the actual Yeti XL does. I mean, and again, and even this, this thing does torque twist a little bit, but because it does have sway bars, but personally, if you see a vehicle, and especially in real life, you see a vehicle doing a torque twist, oh man, it's like you're seeing gold, man. You know. But again, that's just my take. Okay. Uh, but yeah, the cons of it is you literally have no control. But again, man, I love it. I love that. So, and then another thing that I heard really, really negative about the Yeti XL was the drivetrain. Okay, apparently, if you run it on 6S a lot, apparently the stock shaft, it is a plastic shaft. The plastic shaft does tend to snap or pretty much twist, within time. Now, I'll tell you this, okay? Since I've owned my Axial Yeti XL for quite some time, I've never ever ran that vehicle on cement or asphalt. That vehicle, I've always ran it on sand for the same reason. Because if you see that vehicle running on three wheels because it torque twists, of course, man, you're stressing the hell out of your drivetrain, front and rear. So what do you expect, man? You know, that's why I decided, to run that vehicle specifically on sand. And of course, sand is soft. Sand is actually you're not stressing your gears, that much because obviously, it's loose surface. But again, that's the habitat that it should be in, you know. So and yeah, I mean, I heard people. Well, I mean, I used my Yeti XL, out in the front yard, and I just did a turn, and I broke one of the dock bones on there. Well, of course, man. I mean, what are you expecting? That vehicle is meant to be run on sand. Because if it torque twists like that, well, what are you going to expect on a drivetrain? You know, I guess that's when common sense really needs to come into play. Um, there are some vehicles that are not meant to run on hard surfaces, and there are some vehicles that are not meant to run on sand. You know what I mean? Um, and I'll give you another example. You're probably asking, so what other vehicles are meant to not run on sand? One of my good bashers that I still own till today, and I did learn recently that they're discontinuing, their lineup is Dromeda. Okay, Dromeda actually they make small 1/14 scale vehicles. If you run those things are on sand, man, sand gets on the bearings, and once the bearings start to seize up, well, guess what, man? You're pretty much stressing, the entire drivetrain. And of course, that's when you start stripping, that's when you start breaking parts. But if you ask me, it is unfortunate that you can't run that vehicle on dirt. And yeah, I mean, I've learned my lesson. I hardly run that vehicle on dirt. Why? Because it's not a good dirt basher. You know what I mean? It is unfortunate, I gotta say, but that's the truth, you know. And until this day, man, I've used my Dromeda left and right, and that truck sees nothing but street, nothing but asphalt. And so far, man, um, that thing hasn't broken it ever since. And you're probably saying, well, that's because you don't bash hard enough. I do. Actually, I even do bash, off camera. Okay. So yeah, So back to the Yeti XL. Um, so yeah, we talked about the drivetrain. We talked about the shafts, the torque twist, um, and overall, man, you know, it's kind of surprising, to hear other people say bad things, about that platform. And yes, I'm not gonna say that what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not gonna say that it's a perfect vehicle, to run or bash, but that vehicle has its unique characteristics. You know what I mean? If you run the Yeti XL and if you run this, okay, you will see the differences between them too. Okay. If you ask me, so which one's more capable? Um, the Yeti XL, it is capable, well, because of its size. Actually, the Yeti XL is bigger than this, but the Yeti XL is more capable because of its size. Now, which one has better handling? Yes, I mean, I will admit that Lazernut is way better when it comes to handling than the Yeti XL. The Yeti XL, once that thing goes up in three wheels, I mean, you're gonna be on the steering dial all the time. Okay, and the way to gain more control on the vehicle, the only thing that you have, you know, on your hands, to gain more control is just let go of the throttle. That is the only way you're gonna gain control in the Yeti XL. You're pretty much on the throttle, 100% throttle, as you're gaining speed. If you let go of the throttle, that thing will come down. But if you're on throttle, that thing will stay on three wheels on forever. And again, personally, I love it. But, well, there's other people that say otherwise. So, so yeah, so that's another rock racer that I can mention. Um, but yeah, I mean, if I have to conclude on the Yeti XL, do I love it? Do I hate it? I love it. Will I recommend it to a friend? I would recommend it to a friend. And the thing is, unfortunately, they don't make them anymore. But if you actually find one in the market, I will tell you the disclaimer. It pretty much runs on three wheels because of the freaking power that puts out on all your freaking front and back wheels. And it does have its characteristics. So if you want to run that vehicle, you better get used to those characteristics. So yeah, you know. And lastly, so I guess we were talking about 2014, 2013. Lastly, one of the rock racers that came out in 2012, and that's even when, and yeah, of course, I'm going to talk about the company, is Vatera. Okay, so when Vatera came out, one of the few vehicles that were, out at that time was their on-roads, and the one vehicle that actually stood out, in the scene, um, was their Vatera Twin Hammers.
I'm about to be on live. We got it going right now.
Hey, John. Good evening.
Howdy, sir.
What's up, man?
No, I just we had a short night of racing and wasn't too bad, but it started raining and it's a little on the cool side, so that kind of sped things up a little bit. So it's all right.
Cool, man. Hey, well, glad you can make it. So, what you cooking?
Cooking steaks and onions and peppers and Spanish rice.
Oh boy, sounds like a pretty good meal, man.
Yeah, I gotta feed the wife.
Why? She's gonna have one hell of a meal, man.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So technically, I was talking about rock racers. I don't know if you were listening to me. And actually, I know you were backstage, man, but I don't know how long you were backstage.
I've been listening.
Yeah.
Since I
Okay.
said hello at first there, so
Okay. No worries, man. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, and then as I was talking about, the twin hammers, I guess I'll just make this briefly. So yeah, Vatera came out with with that vehicle, and actually Vatera also came out during those years. I'm actually even like 2011 around there.
mhm.
Um, and that brand actually, I mean, I did follow it, since they started. You know, well, I'm not gonna say till their end because I mean they're still part of Horizon Hobby, but I guess they're not investing on that brand anymore. But they're still around. But
Yeah.
I've always been you know a huge fan of Vatera. So if you ask me, do I own the Vatera Twin Hammers? Yes, I do. When that vehicle came out, there was a lot of confusion. They were asking, so what is this vehicle? Is it a rock racer? Is it a basher? Is it a crawler? You know, and personally, I didn't know what to classify it as. You know, and mainly because of its size. Okay, if you compare the Losi, the Vatera Twin Hammers with this thing is huge. Compared to the Vatera Twin Hammer. Okay, so the size, if I had to compare, nah, man, that thing is super tiny. Okay, so but Terra actually also with their innovation, they decided to add a two-speed transmission on that, on a ready-to-run vehicle. Okay, it wasn't a kit, it wasn't something that you would just pick up and build for yourself. So when that came out, with that two-speed, oh boy, I'm sure Vatera had a lot of unsatisfied customers because as soon as you would mess, with that two-speed transmission, high and low, what would happen was it got to the point where the servo did not do its function and would actually get stuck, and the servo would just burn off right there and then. So I'm very sure that Vatera had a lot of unsatisfied customers because of that. And I did remember that Vatera actually on their channel here on YouTube, they actually did a video on how to set your endpoints on that servo, because apparently the manufacturer didn't set the endpoints on that vehicle at the time. So they did say, hey, now we're actually setting the endpoints on these servos as they're coming off, the assembly line, yada yada yada. But the ones that were sitting on the hobby shops, stores, those were the vehicles that, of course, they weren't, they didn't have, their endpoints set. So as you would mess, with the two-speed transmission, well, guess what? As soon as you would move that, boom, the servo would just pull off right there. So aside from that, you know, I guess there were a lot of people that were not happy, with their twin hammers. Aside from, there wasn't any classification because back then there was a lot of confusion. Okay. And even myself, like, okay, so I have it. So what the hell is this thing? You know, if I go out bashing, like, do I take it? Or if I go out crawling, I mean, do I take it? I mean, what do I do? So it was very, very tough, especially in those times, and how to classify it. Okay. So technically, yeah, so it is a rock racer. Now, comparing that vehicle right now, to this in 2020, I gotta say, man, the rock racer scene has come a long way because if I compare this thing to the Vatera Twin Hammers, I gotta say, man, the Vatera Twin Hammers does not even take a full size battery. You know, uh, the Twin Hammers actually. Let me see if I have a battery handy. Yes, I do. If you want to run a Vatera Twin Hammers, their battery tray is as big. as this battery. And look, I'm gonna put one finger here, so you can see. So if you had a Batera twin hammers, this is the type of battery that you would use. Okay. So even at that, man, at that time of year, uh, batteries were actually, a bit harder to get, and to be a bit more specific with size, that also, I'm sure there were a few people that were unsatisfied because everybody else, man, had a standard size battery. But now, yeah, but Terra said, well, you know what? We'll put these freaking shorty packs and these, mini size batteries. And when you would purchase a Vatera twin hammers, Vatera did provide you, with a 2S LiPo, and it was actually as big as this. Okay, Vatera actually did sell you a vehicle that was truly, truly ready to run. It did provide you, with the 4AA batteries, the transmitter, sorry, and their dynamite battery, which was LiPo. Okay, and even this, I mean, I know I'm gonna get a little bit off topic, but even the Glamises, okay, the Glamis Uno, the Glamis Sphere, those vehicles did come, with a LiPo battery and a charger. Okay, so Vatera actually did sell true ready to run vehicles, and especially into an updated version, which when LiPo packs came out, Vatera did a good job, of giving their customers a true ready to run vehicle. So yeah, and that's another reason why. Oh man, that's why I never say anything bad about Vatera, because Vatera really had they really had something going on, you know. And of course, just like everything else, man, looking at a rock racer right now, you know, and of course, I do happen to own the Lazernut. I'm much happier now, owning this than going back to 2012 and just still, asking myself, okay, I have a twin hammers. What the hell is this? You know. So to conclude, um, the platform of a rock racer has come a long way. Okay, from 2012, you know, on today's date. If you're looking for a rock racer, this is the most updated version that you can find. And if you ask me, does this thing have any issues? Nope, it is ready to run. So, yeah, so that is my take on rock racers. You know, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, the story of rock racers. But yeah, so let me catch up on chat here really quick. AK Pitch and Kicker. Hey man, good evening. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. So yeah, man. So let's see. So we've been live for 1 hour, 24 minutes, 17 seconds in. We have 7 people watching, and it's actually 10:56 p.m. Mountain Time. If you are, of course, in the West Coast, it is probably much later. But yeah. And then we have Chef John over here cooking for us.
Oh yeah.
So So how are you liking that felony, man? Talk to us.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I have to admit, what I done to it should be a felony.
Yeah, you actually hit a. I think you broke that ramp, right?
They're in the process of rebuilding and revamping the skate park.
Okay.
So they got boards pulled off the pipe. They got this all pulled apart, and they've reboarded some of it. And that's one of them that they forgot to completely bolt down that metal plate.
Yeah, I can see that.
The thing is, I drove it before, just tooling around a little bit because there was a kid on a skateboard. He was, hey, can I record you running this? And I didn't have my camera set up yet, so I was like running around. But that ramp that I brought up, I actually jumped up to the top of it, set the car down, and then turned it and dropped it in down that ramp.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So pretty much you just let it go, and then that's when that happened.
That was before I finished recording or before I started recording.
Okay.
When I actually recorded it, that piece come loose. It didn't come loose when I did it before.
Oh.
So I was like, oh crap.
And I gotta say, man, that was a really, really hard hit. Actually, that even hurt me, man.
It took the front splitter off.
Oh, it did. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, it popped some screws loose.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So there was some carnage, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. But like I said, it come loose. Come on, Chewy. Come on.
And then also, the viewers that are watching us. So just so you know, John Martin, he recently purchased the Arma Felony. And also, if you guys haven't seen his latest video, he did run his Arma Felony on his local skate park. I highly suggest you to go check out his video. And also, even before he ran it on the skate park, he also did run it on his oval racetrack, which is a dirt track. And yeah, that's what I'm about to ask him. So, John, how well does it perform on sand? Arma Felony.
It bottoms out at the moment.
It does?
Yeah, it bottoms out a little bit in our track. I tried to change the shocks, but I'm a basher and a racer, so we just go with it.
Get down.
Right?
Down.
Yeah.
Down. But anyways, it moves that it wants to move. I can down the back straight. Actually, I can I can wind it up and get to full trigger before I got to let off, and it whips ass right around the corner.
Really?
Turn 3 and 4. If I dive in low, and it'll drift all the way up to the wall.
Really interesting.
Oh yeah, but like I said, it bottoms out a little here and there. It's some little. Hey, I'm going to change the position of this, or I'm going to take this. I'm going to take a little more off the bottom.
Yeah.
So, but I've also been thinking of doing something evil with it.
Evil.
Taking the front and rear splitter, taking the front and rear splitters and everything right off it, and putting a 1/8 late model outlaw body on it.
Ooh.
So it could be a double clothing.
Yeah, it's gonna look wicked, man.
It's one of them ideas I'm toying with. That doesn't quite fit. All right, do I cut it all down to this, and what do I have left?
Right.
Well, like I said, it might make an appearance like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. So now, since you're gonna modify the body and all that, will it be okay to also maybe change the tires more, maybe a more aggressive thread?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about that, but I'm also, like I said, I'm just trying right now to run it without the ability of burning the tires completely off of it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Because mainly, man, that's what those cars are meant for. You know, just pretty
that's the
much.
whole thing. The fact that the front tires you can find them. The rear tires are non-existent, and the front diff is non-existent.
Really?
Yep, because everybody bought all the rear tires, and the diff rates are different from the front and the rear because of the bigger tires in the rear.
Yeah.
So if you get a front diff, it'll go into the rear diff, and you can put the smaller tires. So it's made them tires non-existent now too.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, so it's like, okay, well, you want tires? You go buy another truck, or hey, you know what? You could always buy a Limitless and
Right.
salvage that part. You know, so like that's your options.
And then there's a question here on chat. John says it's from AKA Pitch and Kicker. He's asking, how did it hold the front end on dirt? Did it lift and spin them a lot?
No, it actually nosed in. It nosed right down.
Yeah, I mean it's technically a splitter, right? So you would actually assume downforce.
I have video of it with the splitter on and video with splitter off. I got to get it put together. And I even have the camera facing backwards on one of the runs.
Really? Is that posted on your channel still, or not yet?
No, I haven't. I have to edit it.
Oh, okay.
It's coming.
Hey, so that's gonna be a pretty cool thing to watch there, man. So now let me ask you this: did you say that did you fix the splitter, or you left it as is?
It's still off.
It's off. Have you done any speed runs? Have you done any speed runs with it?
I have not done any speed runs. Like I said, I have it on 4S right now, and I haven't even changed the pinion in it.
Oh, okay.
So you're talking this thing, right? You're talking everything I'm doing to it right now is bone stock.
Ooh, okay.
On 4.
Because well, my thing is, right now your vehicle has the splitter on. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure Arma designed that splitter, for that vehicle not to pretty much lift up at a high speed run. My question is, with that splitter off, you think you would actually catch air? You think it'll probably fly off?
No.
Or lose control? No.
It might get a little squirrely, but no.
It would just, go straight and no airborne whatsoever.
It might flutter a little, but nothing major.
I gotta say, man, that will be some really, really good content, to see. And pretty much, that's for the people that really understand what downforce is. Of course, my knowledge of having a splitter in the front is just to keep the freaking front end of the vehicle, stick to the ground.
There's even a piece that you can put in the back to give it a little bit more in the rear.
Really interesting. So there's plenty of splitter. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little thin piece. You take a screw out and pop a little flat panel out and put the screw in, and it's in.
And see, look, and where my idea is going is, let's see how much we can take on the splitter design for that vehicle to become airborne. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That'll be pretty cool to watch. Go ahead.
I'm thinking if I went to this one racetrack that I might be going to, I did a quick little video. They got a race coming up, so I might wander to it It's a 34-degree banked corner track.
Okay. Oh wow. So it is. That's a big
It's
bank.
a huge bank with very short straightaways. And I'm thinking of taking all the front splitter off, or even the black part, and just leaving a little gap so air can get into the body to see what it does at high speed.
Well, technically, at a bank, that's is it dirt or asphalt? Or I mean,
It's dirt. It's dirt. It's dirt.
Because technically, at a bank, what happens is downforce goes into play, and also gravity. You know?
Yeah.
So, oh boy, you're actually dealing with a lot more of law of physics there, man.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to run it there for us.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting to see.
You know, like I said, I don't care if I have to lose the drag racy downforce. At least I'm not going to chew up their track.
All right.
Like I said, I'm not going to bring this car that I basically, there's only 2 shock positions in the front to raise it up and around the tower.
Really?
Yep. Because if I had just a little bit more spring, I could do it. Like I said, but if I wanted to do that, then you're talking, I might as well order a second set of rears and put them up front just to lift it up a little bit.
What how big are those shocks? I mean, they're 90 millimeters.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. They're trying to think. Ugh.
Hold on, let me present you really quick.
Let me.
There you go. Oh, I think we lost him. Oh man, John was about to showcase his felony. I have no idea what happened. So if you want to join back in, John, let me know. Hopefully you still have the link. If you don't have the link, let me know. I'll just go ahead and put it back on chat. Meanwhile, Beanfield Out of the Turtle says, I'm crashing, guys. Gotta go to sleep. Good night. Hey, man, appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one. See here, Yan, and actually, even Sean's RC Adventure says that it's 1 a.m. over there. Oh, boy. Says, okay, guys, it's 1 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. And, yeah. I guess we'll wait for John Martin here. Yep. Oh, give me a second. All right, there it is, my friend. Yeah, I was all excited. Want to see, the size of shocks on that felony. And here he is.
Sorry
There
about
you go.
that.
You hit the wrong button, huh?
Trying to pick up the cover. Oh, I hit something on my phone.
It's all good. So yeah, let me go ahead and present you really quick. There you go. All yours.
There you be.
Also, they're tiny, huh?
In the front, yeah. They're beefy. And there's the rear.
Hmm.
Yep. Like I said, there's only 2 shock positions, and there's the underneath front that I tore off. Front piece right there.
So now let me ask you this. I mean, how much can you lift that thing? I mean, is it a dog bone, CVD?
What's that?
What kind of what's the drivetrain? Is it a dog bone, CVD?
It's dog bone. It's dog boned and CVD at the ends.
So if you push the A arm, further down, you think the dog bone will actually come off?
No, it's got all the. It's got all the. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what they're called. Stabilizers.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, if you ask me, if we can actually raise the felony a bit more, my guess would be, I don't know if you ever seen those shock tower position, like those little plates where have different holes. Maybe you can pull some of those and then just,
Well, like I said, it's the fact that the platform is brand new.
Yeah, of course, there's. And actually, you're
Like
the
I
one
said,
that's actually thinking outside the box.
it's only been out what, month and a half now.
Yeah.
Things are coming. I already found alternative bodies, even.
Really?
Yep.
I did see.
Yep.
I did see a person that actually had a Lexan body of that Toyota, the GT1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a brand new Lexan body for the. I don't know if it's even for the infraction or the limitless, but seeing that.
Oh, this. I seen some stupid things. Let me get my computer booted up here, and I'll tell you right where to go. But Delta Plastics actually has 3 different bodies. They have 3 different bodies right now.
Really?
Yep. For the felony, the limitless, and the infraction.
All 3, huh?
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
So, like I said, it's pretty much, they're all pretty much the same platform. So.
Yeah, there is. I mean, the only thing is just the gear ratio, what you were mentioning.
Oh yeah,
earlier.
yeah. That's the only thing. The only thing in the rear diff. The rear diff is a smaller diff than the front, so the wheels spin the same speed.
Yeah, and then if we put it that way, yeah.
So that's how it is. It makes it the way it is. There we go.
So let's see, man. I mean, you're actually thinking outside the box. I mean, you're.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I don't think I've seen a video yet. Not that I've gone out and actively, longly searched for it, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything on the dirt but me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, okay.
So you're the Dukes of Hazzard of felony.
Oh man, oh man. I thought about putting the 01 on it. I thought about it. But I seen a video of somebody with an 01 on it, and I don't like what he did.
No.
He stuffed it underneath a parked pickup truck tire.
Oh.
At 90 miles an hour.
Ooh. Oh, I think I've seen it. Yeah. He just went full send and boom.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that.
Full dead stop. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
they really wanted to get away from Boss Hog, huh?
Oh man, he had the black body on it with the 01, white and black.
And he just
He
deteriorated.
just oh,
Boom.
he snapped the frame right in half. He snapped the whole front half of the frame right off.
Jesus.
Yeah. He probably
And,
spent a
and
good $300-400 repairing a $650 car.
and see the question is, since the felony is, like you said, a brand new platform, do you think
It
right
is.
now at this time, do you think it is easy to find another chassis for that thing?
Yes,
It is.
because it's the same chassis for all three.
Oh, okay.
The only, like I said, the major differences between the three are the rear diff and the tires on the felony.
Right.
It's pretty much all interchangeable after that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because see, I still had some questions. So is a felony a little
Like
bit
I said,
more
even
different?
here you go. The felony, it came with the optional parts and different body posts and stuff for me to put on the car and put the infraction body on it.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's how close they are. Like I said, the only thing different between the other two, or all three of them, the two of them have the same tires, same diff, and the other one just has the bigger diff and the bigger tires. That's it.
That's
It's the
oh,
same
okay.
exact car. It's the same exact car. So I can turn this thing into an iguana if I feel like it.
Yeah, you sure can.
I can take it from the felony and put it in the infraction and then convert it all to limitless.
And then just have people all weird out. Didn't you have the felony?
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Run three
anymore.
cars and have the same run 3 cars, spend about 4 hours of tearing it apart and transforming it, and there you go. There's a new car.
Right?
Oh, I make another video. Okay, bring it home, throw it up, and spend another 3-4 hours, tear it apart, and put something else on it, and make another video the next day.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's pretty cool. And see now, the vehicle that you see in front of you, you're probably asking, can you fit a low C tenacity DB Pro on a Lazernut? Chances are you will fail. Why? Because
Yeah.
the chassis is longer, and I don't see that body actually fitting well
No.
on this thing. Just because of that, because the chassis is wider again, longer. So now John is actually saying that the limitless, the infraction, and the felony is pretty much the same thing. Now that is some good info right there.
Yeah.
So gentlemen, if you guys are in the market for an infraction, felony, or the limitless, well, guess what? They're all the same thing. The only difference is the wheels. You said it was the wheels and the diff, right? The rear diff.
The wheels, the diff, the splitter might be different, and the bodies and the body post.
And then the new version of the infraction, right? That's the one with the e-brake. The fancy, talk about the e-brake, right?
You're breaking what was yeah, exactly, the handbrake. And I can add the handbrake to this if I felt like it.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. It's already there.
There you go.
The spot's already there. All I got to do is bolt it in.
Oh wow. So there you go.
And like I said, the controller that comes with it comes with them now. They both have this. They both have the channel right there on the remote for the brake, for the handbrake.
Is it right down your thumb, right? Yeah.
Right here.
Right.
So as you're holding it,
You
It's
just
right
hit
there.
it.
That's all I gotta do. That's all I gotta do.
Yeah, and you know what the irony is? Axial Racing. I do own the, what is it? The Jeep Gladiator.
Mm-hmm.
They do have the what they so call
Yeah.
the dig. That's the same
Yep.
function it does
Yeah.
on that
DX.
same
It's on
button.
the DX. Is it on a DX3?
Yeah, that same radio has the
Yep.
same function
Yep.
on that
Yep.
same button.
Yep. So even though I do have the DX5 rugged, I don't know if I'm gonna ever take this car off of that radio.
Really? Well, the
Well, it's got
rugged
the smart
also.
too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got the smart on the DX5 or DX3, but it doesn't. It's not smart on the rugged.
Oh, I see. So then,
So
no. Well, if you wanna run smart, you need a DX5. What is it? DX5 Pro, right? That's what it is.
DX5C.
Or the C,
Yep.
to run smart.
And I got the rugged, and then another neat little thing right here on the front.
Yeah.
There's a little cover
All for
that
the
pops
Bluetooth.
off
Yeah.
for the Bluetooth when they get it, and it's going to have a phone mount right onto it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have all your telemetry and all that right there by an app from the car.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
That's
pretty
where it
awesome.
plugs in. So I'm like, do I want to change it? I don't have to swap the receivers because it's got the receiver. It's got the DSM.
Yeah, it's a DSM
I can't
R.
remember. Yeah, receiver already in it.
And see that's another interesting point you brought up. So that remote that comes ready to run, it is smart capable, obviously, since it's ready to run.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
DX rugged is not. Wow.
No, it's not. It's not.
Boy. And see, the thing is, I wanted a rugged.
Yeah, the rugged is not smart. You gotta get the C.
Oh boy. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to buy a rugged, just have in mind that it's not smart enough. It didn't go to Harvard.
Oh yeah. And the stock remote might have more options and more better things to do.
That's crazy.
When it comes out than it does the DX rugged.
That's crazy, man. And we have Everyday RC. Hey, man. Good evening. Welcome. He says, "What's up, Basher boy? I can't sleep." Yo ho. Hey, man. Well, come hang around with us. If you can't sleep, hopefully, you can listen to our RC talk here really quick, and yeah, hopefully you're enjoying the rest of your night or morning, depending on which side you're at. But yeah, so right now we're talking about Spectrum remotes, and just a little quick recap. John Martin mentioned, that the DX3, it is smart, and rugged, a DSM, rugged, that is not smart. I didn't know that.
DX5 rugged.
Yeah, DX5
it's not
rugged.
Smart.
So, the vehicle that you see in front of you, which is a low C Lazernut, this is a smart, capable vehicle. It does come, with the RPMs and all that. And, like John Martin said, that remote, if you buy the Bluetooth module, you actually can see all of that info.
It's not out yet, but it's coming.
That's correct. Yeah, and it's not out yet, but it's coming. And you see, if you have the rugged, and if you bind that receiver onto your rugged radio, DX5 rugged, you will not be able to see any smart technology. Isn't that a bummer?
Nope.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But like I said, you can do all the other things. It's just you don't have the battery life, and you don't have the temp, and you don't have your speedometer. You don't have the battery. Just all them features.
Yeah. And now, what would be, um, I guess, what would be the pros and cons of a rugged? The cons of a rugged, I guess, because it's not smart, which I learned today.
That's
you
it.
know.
That's it. That's it.
But now the pros of a rugged is, that thing you can actually throw it in water. You can actually throw mud at it. You can, I mean, I wouldn't, but actually you
Drop
can
it.
drop it. Um, you know, that thing stands, with its name, rugged. You know what I mean? It's freaking sturdy. You know, but and look, so 11 Charlie says the new rugged is smart, huh?
Yeah. Not the. Not the. Not the. It's got to be the C.
So okay.
My rugged is my orange rugged is not smart.
So now there's two versions of the rugged, then, right? So I guess the new.
There's actually three of them. There's a black one, there's the orange one, and then Tony actually has the green forest green one.
Oh, okay. So I guess the newest version, it is smart apparently, then, huh?
Yeah, the one I got is not. It's a dummy remote.
Ooh.
Not really, but you know what I'm talking.
Yeah. And look, so obviously we do have some interactive TV here, and I will show it. So 11 Charlie RC sends me a freaking picture of his rugged remote, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. Big letters.
Yeah. And that's the
So,
green one. That's
yep.
the green one.
So now
It's
let's
not the orange
rephrase
one.
this then. So let's rephrase this. So there are some rugged remotes that aren't smart,
Oh yeah.
right? And the newest versions they
I'll be
do
right back.
have the smart technology. Interesting. But now that is also news to me, man, because the rugged, when it came out, I mean, I would figure, it would be smart compatible, and I'm talking about, the older model. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you this, my DXXR, apparently it is smart, obviously, because it's Android based. But I mean, my radio does update on its own, because you just, if you guys don't know, the firmware, everything that comes with the Spectrum. The way you update your remote on a DXXR, what you do is you just go to Google Play, and just like how you update the apps on your phone, that's the way that remote updates. You know, so that's why I do have all that smart technology stuff on a DXXR. Okay, but on a rugged. Now here's my
Guess what?
question.
I'm dumb. I didn't see that.
Also,
I didn't see that.
so it is smart, John.
I haven't gone through. I haven't gone through the manual yet, so I'm still learning it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Okay.
So I misspoke. Sorry, my bad. I'll go to my room now.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we should blame that it's midnight.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I actually had a long day.
it's actually 1:30 here.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and yeah, man. We all have brain farts. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
I'll tell you guys this. So if you come this far, if you hear us saying that the rugged is not smart, technically we aren't smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Technology, you gotta love it.
Yeah. So the rugged is smart. So yeah, and I guess I'll retract my comments. Actually, I
Oh yeah,
still have the respect on a rugged remote, and it
it
is
doesn't.
smart. Apparently it did graduate, with Harvard with with Mr. DX6R radio and the DX5R Pro. No, not the R Pro. It's just the Pro. The DX5
Yeah,
Pro.
I wonder why. I wonder why everything I've been saying who's been saying the DXRC or DX5C.
The C, if I'm not mistaken, the C, that is like the most basic remote you can actually get. I mean, that's actually the upgrade from the stock remote. And one thing that I learned with the DX5C is that that remote is not even, it doesn't even have a backlight.
Well,
And
this one
that is,
doesn't either. This one doesn't either.
and yeah, and I know the, I know the rugged and the 5C, they're super similar. They're very similar, actually. And the only difference is that the rugged, of course, it's more robust, I guess.
This front piece and the rubber around the top.
Yeah, but like if for example, if you remove, that bar that comes from the receiver all the way down to where the battery tray goes,
Mm-hmm.
that's technically how a DX5C looks like, and the
Yeah.
DX5C is all black.
Yep.
And the thing that I don't like is, yeah, it's not backlit. So let's say, for example, if you're in the middle of the night, if you want to do, if you want to change a few settings there on the quicks, yeah, that thing is.
And the touchscreen.
Yeah, and also that. I know I did hear, some opinions on that touchscreen. Apparently, it's too sensitive, but there's a way to fix that.
Yeah.
And personally, I mean, I don't own a remote.
You can send the old one in, and I guess they replace it with the new touchpad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's the whole thing of sending it out and waiting for it to come back.
Oh, yeah. So the wait time is actually the thing, right?
The wait time's the problem.
Yeah. And especially in these times, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. So
And then from there, the DX5C, and then there comes the rugged, and then there's the DX5 Pro, and then from the DX5 Pro, that's the DX6R.
oh yeah.
So and the DX6R, that's pretty much the well, and I'll tell you this, even on the DX6R, I did learn that actually the price even went up even more. I mean, I have no idea why, but when that radio came out, oh boy, you would be surprised on the comments, that I heard about that radio. And even myself, even when I got it, I literally said, "Oh man, this thing is garbage." But once you start dialing in, you start doing updates. Actually, that radio is not bad at all. And I'll tell you this, man. Once that radio outdates itself, I mean, I guess that's what I should really, really start worrying. But right now, man, I mean, it is Android based. Basically, it's like a phone on your remote, basically. You know. But once that thing becomes outdated, I really want to see what I have to say. Because actually, if that thing becomes outdated, yeah, you will be hearing a handful of me.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What?
I'm looking at something that's wrong.
So.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
And Everyday RC says, rugged interface is very sensitive. I had to turn down the sensitivity. Yeah, there is a way to turn down the sensitivity, and that's how you fix that issue. But a lot of people weren't happy, with that, because you would actually just hit a few buttons, and pretty much, yeah, it's so sensitive that you just weren't able to hit that one setting just right there and then. So that's that. Right. 11 Charlie's just laughing. But yeah, and I again, so as soon as we said that the rugged was not smart enough, and I'm gonna show it again. This is 11 Charlie responds right here.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're not the smart ones, man.
Hey, it happens.
So, so once again, I will mention this. We did mention earlier that the rugged isn't smart. We just learned that it is. They just basically showed the diploma and showed all the degrees, doctorate, and all the good stuff. So yeah.
Oops.
And then we have Jamin RC building as one. He says, "What's kicking, chickens? Not much, man. Just here shooting the breeze." And let's see
Spreading disinformation.
here, right? Yeah, we're just shooting the breeze, man, and we're just talking, as we go along. So it's been 2 hours, 6 minutes, 21 seconds in. And then we have 11 Charlie RC says, "I blame my VA pills." No, man. The thing is, look at Spectrum has changed so much, man, that it's very very tough to keep up. Okay. And see, the thing with Spectrum is you learn something new every day with that company. Okay. And look, I'm not even gonna go with the direction with the STX2, but you learn something new every day, with that company. By the end of the day, that is my go-to brand. Spectrum, I've hardly had any issues with. There are the fans that are Futaba fans, they're Sanwa fans, um, KO Propo, to name a few brands out there. But by the end of the day, man, Spectrum is a good company. It is a good brand.
Expensive receivers, but yes.
No, not even that, man. I gotta say, if you're looking for something that is inexpensive, a two-channel receiver, man, you're looking at like $35.
Yeah. But it all depends on what you're running.
Correct, yeah, and of course, the more channels, that's where the price does vary. You know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, like I said, I had to get extra or receivers with extra channels because I had fans and stuff and
yeah,
different
so
things for the Hobby Wing Pro XR. Let's see, here was it? Where is it? XR10 Pros.
yeah. So let me ask you this, John. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen a felony or limitless or an infraction, um, you know, on real life. I've only seen them on video.
Yeah.
The ready to run versions of that. What type of receiver do they come in? I know it's a DSMR, but is it the 6-channel one?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. So I'll start off by saying this, okay? If you're looking for a receiver that has 6 channels, just like the one John has, and also this vehicle, the Losi Lazernut, also comes, with that receiver as well. That receiver by itself, okay, and you can actually quote me on this. That receiver by itself, if you want to purchase one of those, that thing is over $100.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the SR611 DAT.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Give me a second, man. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's like I said, it's a good receiver. So I'm just pulling that information right off the box because I have it here.
Sorry about that. I heard some noise over here in the front yard. But yeah, so I mean, as I was saying, those receivers, man, they're over $100 and they're super expensive. You know, so I mean, yes, that does get pricey over time. But if you just want a 2-channel receiver, you're looking at $35. So take your pick. Whatever it is that you need. There is a budget. With Spectrum. If you want to go all out, hey, you can get a 6-channel. If you're only going to use 3, well, you'll have all of those as spares, no problem. But if you just really, really want, steering and throttle, and of course, the battery plug, to use as a fan or lights, what have you, the 2-channel, man, that's the way to go. So.
Yeah, the receiver's going for $85
for the 6, right?
6-channel, yep, with telemetry.
Yeah. If you want to add, well, here in Texas, the tax, yeah, that's at $100 receiver.
Yep.
So
I just quickly looked it up.
So no, yeah, man. There you go, man. Because I did change out, the receiver on my brand new TRX4, the Blazer.
Oh.
Traxxas, and that thing. If I'm not mistaken, that's like a 6-channel, ready to run Traxxas remote and receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna buy, the 6-channel for the TRX4, but I went with a 5-channel because the 5-channel actually, that's like about maybe like $20 less. And actually that's all the channels I needed, really. So I went with that, and I've been a happy camper so far. So even at that, man, Spectrum, yeah, it all depends how many channels you need. So, and then we have Everyday RC says you can get the orange knockoff brand Spectrum compatible 3-channel for $15, and they actually work great.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, man, I do agree. Okay. The only thing I hear about those the knockoff brand, the orange, some of those new remotes that are out there, actually they're not as compatible as they used to be.
No.
And it all depends on what kind of updates you have on your remotes. So, and I'll give you an example. I do own the DX6R. None of those orange receivers would actually bind to my remote because right now I'm current in the latest firmware, what they so call. And if I would bind to those orange knockoff, no. I mean, I don't know what type of update you would need, in order to bind with those orange knockoffs. But I know you truly need a DSMR remote to bind to those orange remotes. But I guess when that remote came out, if you actually update it, you won't be able to bind. So even that, man, is crucial. So also another thing, Spectrum, you go based on years. Okay. Example, I also own the DX4R, and that remote can actually go up a version. Okay, I don't know if I'm making sense, but remember those square Spectrum receivers that actually you would have to plug in, pine plug and all that. So the DX4R actually is compatible with those receivers, and it's still compatible, with the brand new version that we're using right now. So I can actually bind my DX4R to this, But of course, since it's a 4, I won't be able to use the other channels. But it's still it will bind, to a 6-channel receiver, because why? It's a DSMR receiver. And you can go 1 forward, 1 gen forward, and 1 gen back. If you go another gen back, that remote will not take it.
Issues.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's another thing that's the thing with Spectrum. Okay, so, and look, every day RC says I'm using the orange knockouts with my old school DX3S. See, and yeah, the DX3X actually, that's actually that receiver, that's a really basic receiver. Actually, you would get that on Ready to Run until this day. Actually, the DX3S is still around. Actually, that's the one you have, right, John? On your felony?
Yeah.
That it's a DX3S.
DX3.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Or maybe he meant the DX4S.
Maybe.
And that one I do have. So.
All right, let's go with this. There we go.
Oh, you're in? Did you go?
There we go. What's that?
Are you? Hold on. Oh, okay. I don't know what you did.
My phone's getting ready to die.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sitting that way. I had to plug it in.
And actually, you're vertical. And I guess you froze. Oh, okay. So the DX3. Oh, yes, I know which one it is. So Everyday RC says the DX3S is old school digital display, almost looked like the rugged. Yes, I know which one that is. Oh wow, that's pretty old, man. So look, the Spectrum remotes that I own is the DX4S, the DX4R, and the DX6R. Okay, those are the remotes that I own. And the cool thing the cool thing about Spectrum is that the DX4R was compatible with the DSMR, and the DSMR2, receivers. So yeah, so if it was a DSMR, yeah, I mean the DX4R, boom, it would just bind like no issue. Now the DS4S, I think that would always just go all the way to DSMR, but not the DSMR2. So that's when that's where it gets a bit technical. And then now when the DX6R came out, yeah, man, actually that thing binds to anything Spectrum. Actually, I haven't had any issues, with that remote, as far as binding goes. So yeah. And then John Martin, we lost him. I guess he's actually saying that his phone died. So I guess he'll be in here shortly. Earl RC says, "Dang son, you're still awake." Actually, I am. But actually, I think I'm gonna end the stream here in just a bit. Actually, I've had a long day, and actually, I started here pretty late. I started 9:00 p.m. My time. So there you go. You're in, John?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So And oh boy, like every
phone
day
died. I went to
says,
go plug it in.
and there it is, huh? Okay.
Where?
It's 2 a.m. in
Where
New
in New
York.
York?
Can't sleep.
Where in New York?
Probably Manhattan. You know, the city that doesn't sleep.
Hey,
You know,
like I said, when you're in Rome, you do as a Roman does.
right? So,
And that's where I am from, New York. So
oh, are you? Okay.
lots,
I'm from
lots, nice,
Texas.
nice. Yeah.
So, okay. So first he says Long Island, New York, and then Babylon, New York.
Okay. Babylon.
So
Okay.
maybe he's in Long Island, but I guess he's from Babylon.
Yeah, Babylon. Yeah, it's a city. City name. It's on the island.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just past Nassau and Queens and all the happiness. A little bit further out on the island. It's on the south side, I believe.
Yeah, like actually, I went to New York, but I was a kid. You know, I don't remember much. So, but I will say
All
it is a beautiful state.
Yeah, South Shores. Yep, that's always. Yep, that's what I thought it was on the South Shore.
Oh, okay. It's alrighty, my friend. So before I end today's stream, actually, it's a true honor to have Everyday RC here with us. And before I go, um, I would like to say this, okay? And I know I mentioned it before in some other live stream somewhere. But Everyday RC, if you check out his RC fleet, it is an amazing RC fleet. Okay, he has top of my head. Okay, I mean I'm not really that. I have good memory, but not that great. But I know he has an X-Max. I know he has. Let's see here. Well, anyway,
He
the
says he
one
has family
vehicle
in Galveston too.
in Texas. Okay,
He said he has family
I'm
in
actually
Galveston. In Galveston. Yeah.
I'm actually in West Texas. That's east. Actually, it's like
Yeah.
northeast maybe. But yeah, I'm in West Texas. I'm in El Paso, Texas. But anyway, so Everyday RC, you know, he has a really awesome RC collection. And when I was in the market for a monster truck, okay, he actually had the Losi LST XXL2, and actually at the time when it barely came out, he actually bought one himself. And based on his videos, based on the way he bashed, you know, based on the way he presented it on his channel, that actually helped me, you know, purchase that truck. And until this day, I do not, uh, what is the word I'm looking for? I do not regret, you know, buying that vehicle. If you guys are not that familiar, check it out. It's the Losi LST XXL2. That truck came out, I would say maybe 2015, 2016, around there. And even back in the years, I mean, the LST, that platform has been Losi, you know, for many years. But when the Losi LST XXL2 came out, because of Everyday RC, you know, that's the reason why I own one of those. So once again, my friend, you know, I highly appreciate your help, you know, for the RC hobby, and you know, it's truly an honor to have you here in my live stream tonight. You know, it does mean a lot. Okay. There's many people that I can actually shout out, you know, based on the vehicles that they own. And just like Everyday RC, because he owns the Low CLST, that's the reason why I subscribe to his channel. And of course, that's not the only vehicle that he owns. He does own many other platforms, and I try to remember which other vehicles. And I know his thumbnail is the Low C5T. I know he has that, the gas version of that truck. It's a big truck. But the one vehicle that sold me was that Low CLST XXL2. So I had showcased it, in my channel before, and actually it's quite rare because I do showcase it, and a lot of people ask, hey, what is that? What is that? And to me, that is by far one of the best platforms that I've ever owned. If you ask me, why do I own a X-Max? Well, it's because I own a Low CLST XXL2. Why don't you own an Arma, I don't know, Outcast? It's because I own a Low CLST2. So, and of course, I do own the Notorious. I do own the other bigger scale vehicles. But the Low CLST XXL2, it's a truly underrated truck. Okay, and thanks to Everyday RC, just because of his help, his videos on that truck, that's the reason why I own it. So yeah, I figured I would say that before I end the stream. And let's see here. RLRC says that he does remember the Low CLST, and also, even years before that, I know Los even came out with the Mini LST. It came with dual motors, and it was it was pretty impressive platform. So, and there you go, my friend. Everyday RC says, means a lot, my friend. Glad you found the video helpful. No, man, it was a lot of help. Trust me. So I highly appreciate you pretty much putting that vehicle through its paces. And I know you even got some Max Amps batteries for it, which that was also amazing. So yeah, man, I can't really thank you enough. So, and changing the topic up a bit, says AC Frogs RC and more says, well, won the bomber class race. Hey, man, congratulations! Awesome. And then it says, you know what I mean. So he says, my, not buy. Yeah, we got it. And Everyday RC says, still have the, oh wow, so the 3XLE. So you bought that one as well, huh? Yeah, so the 2, if I'm not mistaken, that came out like in 2015, and I may be wrong, 2015, 2016, around there. And then the 3XLE, that is like the latest version of the LST. If I'm not mistaken, that's like a white with blue, something like that. Even the chassis is blue. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That you have that. So yeah, and then everybody's congratulating AC Froggies, aka Brett. So yeah, man. So, are you still there, John? Yes, no, maybe so. I guess we'll just wait for John to come in, and once he comes in, I'll just go ahead and end the live stream. So right now it is, oh boy, it is 12:01 midnight. And actually, you can't even hear it in my voice. It's been a long day. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and start saying this. I highly appreciate you stopping by tonight. Everybody that showed up, I highly appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. And yeah, so John actually went to go get his food.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually saying my goodbyes, my friend. So if you want to add something to that, John.
All right. Have a good night. Good seeing, and see you guys on the next one. And bash it and break it and charge them up.
Hell yeah. So also, if you guys are curious who I have here tonight, that's James RC. I went ahead and I highlighted his comments. If you guys want to see some Arma Felony action, this is a channel you might want to see. Actually, my friend here is actually going off road with this thing. Yes, the Arma Felony. So once again, the channel is highlighted there on your screen. Just go ahead and find them on YouTube, and trust me, check out his videos. So, all right, then that'll do it for me, my friend. So we'll end the stream here. We'll see you. What is it? Saturday. So we'll see you Monday night at 11 Charlie RC with Javier. I think also he goes live 8 o'clock. And then we have Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I'm not sure. RC Conspiracies with Tony CC with CCXRC.
Tuesday.
And then we have Thursday nights with the Tank RC. And Friday nights with Steve OD from the 313. And yours truly, RC Basher Boy. I I know I didn't come in at 8 o'clock tonight, Mountain Time. But yeah, my time is Saturday nights, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. So yeah, so don't miss those RC lives. Come check them out. Great people. Awesome community. So yeah. So that'll do it for me, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody in chat, happy belated birthday.
Oh hey man, appreciate it. Yeah, and then October 2nd, yesterday was my birthday. Actually, I had a blast. But yeah, I appreciate it, John. Thanks for that. So we'll end it here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great morning. Get some breakfast or start your day now. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Later.
See ya.